So, ladies and gentlemen, now we've moved to the first panel discussions of the session in the afternoon. So, that is a CMO panel with the topic storytelling in the digital age, crafting narrative that resonate. So, as we know, today's crowded digital landscape, storytelling is one of the most effective ways to connect with the consumers. And in this panel discussion, we will explore how brands can create authentic and compelling narratives that capture attention, and we also build emotional connection and foster lasting brand loyalty and engagement. And for this panel discussion, I would like to introduce to you the panelists and also the moderator. So from our panelists, I would like to introduce Mrs. Phan Diep, Director of Marketing Communications and Advertising Sales K+. And the next panelist, Mr. Ngoc, Chief Marketing Officer at Vietnam Maritime Bank, MSP and Brooks Group founder at Vietnam Insider. And the next one, that is Mr. Girish Ramachandra, co-founder and CEO Shopalyst. And also welcome Mr. Pablo Chatbot, Marketing Director, Heineken Vietnam. And also please welcome our stage, our moderator, Mr. Sudarshan Saha, Managing Director, EssenceMediacom. And please get a big applause again.
How are you guys? Oh, chai, not I. How are you guys doing? Good, okay. So, thank you, packed house on an afternoon, so really appreciate. I'm sure everyone has come to hear a lot of interesting stories. One thing I can promise you, that this is not a scripted panel discussion, so my co-panelists are extremely nervous because they don't know what I'm going to ask them. But in all honesty, I did a pre-catch-up with some of them. So they have a couple of talking points, but they don't know what questions are coming. So I think we'll have fun for 30 minutes, and it'll be worth your time. And that's a promise I will try to keep up with. A quick round of introductions, maybe with Diep first.
Hello, everybody. My name is Diep. I have opportunity to join MMA in like kind of CMO panel like that for several times. Once again, I'm come from K+. We are actually part of the Canal Plus TV group, a leading TV operator in Europe and in France and Africa as well. Currently, I'm in charge of marketing, communication, and advertising sales. Nice to meet you guys. Yeah.
Mr. Dung.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ngoc. I am the CMO at the MSB. Stand for Vietnam Maritime Bank. It's the first private commerce bank in Vietnam, and I am also in charge of the CMO roles at the Brooks Group, formerly TNG Holding Vietnam, one of the top property developer in Duong. Yeah. Thank you. Good to see you here, and a little bit nervous because sitting next to the beautiful lady here.
Hi, my name is Girish Ramachandra, and I'm one of the co-founders at Shopalyst. Shopalyst is a marketing technology company that serves more than 500 brands in 30 countries. We work with the likes of Unilever, Procter & Gamble, Nestle, to name a few. And this is the first time I'm here in Vietnam, so great to meet you all.
Good afternoon, and thank you for all coming. My name is Pablo. I'm the marketing director at Heineken Vietnam. You've been able to taste some of our products in the hallway, and hopefully tonight a few more. My nationality is Dutch. I've only been in Vietnam since 3 months, so I'm mostly here today to listen and learn. But hopefully I can also share some examples from our brands today in this panel talk. So, thank you.
Hi, I'm Sudarshan. I've been in Vietnam for 7+ years. I've worked in Southeast Asia extensively, originally from India. Interestingly, the panelists have some similarities with me. I used to be a banker, and I'm an electronics engineer, started with coding, then moved to advertising. But that's about it. That's not the interesting part of it. Interesting part is the topic of storytelling and why it is important. I'm going to talk something very basic and fundamental is that, we are in the marketing ecosystem, so brands and consumers interact with each other. And there has to be an inherent trust the consumers need to, have in the brand before they consume, when they open the can of Heineken and they're pouring into their mouth, their throat. There is some consistency of taste, there's some expectation of quality. There is some bit of trust every brand needs to, have for the consumers to adopt, try it. It's very similar to how we actually are born and grow up. As child, when our first need is that, besides the food and nutrition, our first need is that of a trust and safety, right? And after we have gotten the trust and safety from our moms, mother, parents, and everyone in the family, as our senses start developing, the first things as children we look forward to are stories. So when you close your eyes and think about your childhood, the things you probably will fondly recollect are the stories that were told to you by your parents, by your family members, right? So it's not very different when the consumers interact with brands, because if the brand is able to provide beautiful storytelling, the emotional bonding becomes very strong. In a beautiful, controlled environment, it is obviously possible, because there are a lot of smart people on the dais and in this forum who are putting their day in and day out in creating those beautiful stories. We are not going to start our panel discussion with that. We are going to start our panel discussion with some sharing from Pablo about a time, few years back, when the world went out of control. How did a brand still was able to have that grip on storytelling and create the, the consumer bonding engagement? So Pablo, over to you. Share your experience, please.
What an introduction. Thank you, Sud. It's not a children's story, to be clear. We do not advertise to children. And I also just noticed my name is not Chatbot, although in this setting it's very, very good. This is not the first time, but this one is very, very on point. Yes, at Heineken, and it feels like a no-brainer, but it's very difficult to do, is we start with the consumer. And that's what guides all our thinking. And consumer needs obviously change, and they are changing faster and faster. And especially in the time of COVID, consumers' needs were changing super fast. And consumer behavior was changing fast, the landscape was changing extremely fast. And as marketeers, we need to evolve to change with our consumers and to follow where they go and what their needs are. So that was a very important starting point for us for Tiger beer in Malaysia. So Tiger beer is obviously a well-famous beer here in Vietnam, but in Malaysia also. And in Malaysia, it's well known for, of course, being progressive, and it's about the uncaging your courage and breaking barriers. And in Malaysia specifically, it's also very well known for its connection to street food and the passion that Malaysians have for street food. Not too dissimilar, I think, from here in Vietnam. And this connection with street food was at risk. It was under pressure. Because with COVID hitting the country and the world, people were stuck at home. They were not able to enjoy their favorite street food anymore. And they were missing their favorite street food, which is so important in their daily lives. And that was an opportunity for us as a brand to come in with digital storytelling. And we decided to launch we were well known for our food festivals, but we decided this time to launch a digital and virtual food festival. And it is what you think it is, and it had everything that a festival should have. This time you create your avatar, you log in, you create your avatar, you can walk around the festival grounds, you can meet your friends, you can talk to your friends even. You can see performances with famous singers, play games as you would do in any festival, but most importantly, obviously, it's about the food. So you could browse your the different food vendors online with your avatar. And they would be real vendors. So you could order your street food online, and it would be delivered to your house within an hour in real life, in your house where you're stuck, and then you can enjoy your favorite street food again. So for us, it was a very effective way to keep the connection with street food in a very different environment, to blur the boundaries between the real life and digital, and to keep the brand on top of mind in a time where people were changing.
Should we play the...
Oh yeah, you have a video even. Yeah.
Sound. Okay.
So even without sound, I hope you can see what's going on. Here's Namewee, a very famous rapper in Malaysia. This was the central ground. You create your avatar. Here you can talk to different people, play games, Tiger Crystal, enjoy the music performances, and then, of course, order your favorite street food, being delivered by a special delivery team. And then, of course, we had a lot of influencers and celebrities joining in and creating a lot of buzz around it. Yeah, with some great results that helped us to deliver our objectives. And as marketeers, there's of course some exciting music underneath.
So I think, Pablo, there was an opportunity to do, delivery service. There was an opportunity to help the B2B merchant marketing initiatives. And here you took all of those elements together and crafted an experience which enables the consumers to more seamlessly engage with the brand during a difficult time. And it brings the brand values alive, continues the tradition that you had on street fairs, and then help merchant and your brand sell better, right? So storytelling with a commercial purpose, beautifully done.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'll come to Mr. Dung. He represents banking, right? I mean, I was talking about trust earlier, and I read somewhere a beautiful thought which said that it's not by offering help that you show your trust. It is actually when you ask for help is when you show that you trust the person. So you will ask the person you trust for help in difficult times, right? It's a beautiful thought. It's something for you to, ponder upon. We always ask for help to a bank. And there are a lot of jokes around it, but Mr. Dung will be serious about it because Mr. Dung has, and his team has done a good work, in terms of seamlessly connecting both building brand equity as well as, converting audience on different liability and asset products that the bank has by superior use of data. And why we are touching on the data is because then we'll come to the techie, So Mr. Dung, very, very eager to learn from your experience because this is an area where everyone is grappling with. That does storytelling really have a role to play in performance marketing where, every CFO, in bank, even you are like a CFO, right? You talk numbers first and emotions later. So how do you, orchestrate the whole thing on storytelling through the funnels, through the, the campaigns by use of data? So very eager to hear your experience, sir. We don't have a video, as you said. So we'll hear story from you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the question. It's very interesting because before the pandemic, we already leveraged the data to understand our customer, to know the insight, what their expectation, so we can tell the story that the customer expect to hear from us. So, because in the banking industry, we not sell the products like and the service like the way Heineken do in Vietnam. So we sell the trust. We build trust first. We build the brand love, and in the story, we try to engage the customer with our story. Maybe they can feel themselves inside the story before they decide to use our service. And they can be our ambassador who leverage the story of MSB to share with their friends, family to use our service. That's the way we grow the bank. Like I said, we are the first commerce bank in Vietnam, and after 33 years, from a very small bank in Vietnam, nowadays we serve about 6 million retail banking customers.
So you're very great. Your bank is also very great. But I'm very curious to know about the technology you're using in order to do the storytelling.
Yeah. At MSB, we have our own CDP already, and nowadays we try to upgrade to a different level. Based on the CDP, we try to collect the customer behavior, even for who is not our customer, existing two-bank customer, right. And existing customer, even who already leave us for the other bank. We try to understand them, and based on the data, we will know the insight and to create the message and create the offer to deliver to them the message based on the most of the channel, most important channel we use is digital platform to approach our customer.
At any given point of time, how many assets you have ready, right? Or are they dynamically getting created?
You mean the number of the data,
number of
records?
assets.
I'm
sure you're doing some kind of A/B testing and all the stuff, right? The usual things. But the volume of assets needed for different,
per customer, we can take about more than 1,000 records per customer. Yeah, so with different angles. So,
understand.
Yeah, based on that, like I said, we can leverage the data to understand them and design the right message, right offer to send them at the right time with the right channel. That because we know them, we understand what they expect. Yeah.
So 1,000 data signals using cloud architecture. You're creating audience segmentation. You're doing a lot of asset targeting and then seeing the behavior response, then
right.
retargeting, etc.
Right.
Are you creating these assets dynamically on the fly, or they are pre-produced and ready for roll? How do you leverage? How do you orchestrate this?
No, actually, we create different segmentation, and we always create the different content for different segment and do A/B testing before we run the mass campaign. Because with the small size, we will know the response from the small group of customers before we decide to blast out for the mass group.
Understand.
Yeah.
Understand. And I mean, that's a great segue for us to bring Girish to the discussion. Being a techie, have founded a lot of things before he founded this company called Shopalyst. Seamless journey, SaaS service, designed to take over the world away from media agencies. But yeah, I think there are people in the room who are already, are users of Shopalyst, but I would assume 90% of them have not. So it'll be very good if you give a succinct, summary of what it can do and how it can solve the problem, especially because banking and financial sector is a up-emerging sector, and there are a lot of new data privacy rules which have come into Vietnam. So it's a focus area. That's why we have a banking client. So 2 asks from you. Yeah, Girish.
Sure. By the way, I'm not here to take away anybody's business. So, so 2 things. If you really look at marketing today, more or less, it is presumed they're talking about digital marketing. Similarly, when we talk about consumers, we are defaulting that as a digital consumer. And that's simply because of our lifestyles having become too digital, right? Now, the fact that it is turned digital, it becomes even more important for data and technology to play a role in terms of, 1, finding the right stories, and then amplifying that across different platforms that we all live on. My behavior when I'm on Instagram is very different compared to what I do on TikTok. It's the same person. Now, if you are a brand trying to tell me a story, you need to be, 1, be aware of my context, and also have the ability to get my attention and finally convert that attention into an action. That's where his point about seamless journey from a story to a storefront, if you will. And that should be done in a way where you're not really kind of hustling to sell something or kind of build or buy brand love. We truly believe that brand love has to be earned. It's an outcome of doing something right? So the ability to look at people as people and build communication with them which is relevant to their context and be personalized makes all the difference. And to do this, you need tons of data, tons of technology, but it should all work in the background. And the way Shopalyst is built is to amplify the craft of marketing. You don't need to know anything. One of the things that I often use as a design consideration is if you can use Instagram or WhatsApp on your own, you should be able to use marketing technology on your own.
Nice.
And that's how we have, kind of thought through this whole process. And today, in the context of storytelling, there are a number of stories that you and I, as consumers, encounter. We don't care to stop scrolling for all of them. And every time we don't care, something went wrong there, right? It not only, could not trade my attention, but the brand also, wasted their media dollars, really speaking. Right? So it is important for a brand to take advantage of three things, which I can summarize with a one word, ACE. ACE is an acronym for three things: get your audience right, make your creative work hard, and deliver an experience that is personalized. That is how you can convert a story into an action.
Nice one. Yeah. You want to demonstrate something?
Yeah, there is an example that if you could play.
Oh, no. This one?
No, not this one. Do you have something for that?
I think this one. Am I? Okay, this one.
Okay, so this is a good example, perhaps. I talked about making technology easy. Take a look at this, from a point of view of getting insights about consumers and converting that into a story that gets amplified. Here is how Shopalyst makes it easy for you. The whole idea really is, with data and with technology, a marketer need not be overwhelmed, and a marketer need not really feel that he needs help of an army of people. So this is what I meant by, amplifying the craft of marketing. So you could actually create stories where a start point could be provided by technology, and you could actually amplify that using your own creativity. And then the ability to connect it to commerce is also very important. And taking it to the right audience, for example, could also be a question. And these audiences, since they live across platforms, could be on Google, could be on Meta, could be on TikTok, the ability to understand the context of a story and identify the right signals and say how many people are there to listen to your story, very important.
When Pablo sees this, what thoughts do you have? It's very easy to use, right?
I think it's very exciting, so we can talk after. And one thought that came to mind as you see the automation of the assets as well. So how do you, on the one hand, it's seamless and it's very super easy to use. How do you then keep the magic of the message and the brand still alive?
A great question. While technology, pretends to do everything, we don't really kind of, pretend to do everything that a marketer can do. The key asset, for example, a base video or the story, is still something that gets produced the traditional way. And our technology complements that. For example, the ability to add shopping information on top of a creative. We could do that using your pack shots from your master data, your pricing and availability from different channels that you sell on. So we use technology to source all of that and assemble that to complement your story. Yeah? So we don't quite generate the actual story. While you could always claim that you could do that, I refuse to believe that we can build stories that will be seen by people. You could use technology perhaps that will build stories that will be seen by robots, which is not the intention at all. Right? So hope that answered your question.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
I remember, how many of you, when you were young and when you grew up, experienced electric power cuts? Okay, right? So let's say, I remember when I was very young, and I was in my storytelling, experience from my parents, and there would be a power cut. The storytelling would abruptly stop because they have to now figure out to light the lamp using the, gasoline oil and stuff like that. Now, when they came back, right, they must be telling me the same story every day, right? So when they came back, they'll forget where they were. And this is really true. So they will start from somewhere. And it would be so annoying because I would say, no, this is not where we stopped. We stopped somewhere else, And that's exactly the feeling I have on why it is so important for marketers to think of seamlessness in the storytelling when you move from platform to platform, asset to asset, because we should not be under the assumption that the consumers have seen the full asset and all the things that we have developed over the last few months, and they have consumed everything like an attentive audience. And then now when I go into a different platform, let's say into commerce, as consumer engagement or event activation, they are coming exactly off from the last second of the last asset as exactly I designed it. It doesn't happen that way. Hence, the ability of technology to empower creative people in this room to enable marketers, Mr. Dung, Pablo, and everyone, to create that seamlessness is so essential because imagine several years back, I was seriously young and had no other option than to, force my parents to tell me storytelling. But today, the consumer has, oh my God, how many parents and how many options they have to listen to stories about, right? So the dynamics are different, but by sharing this, I'm just trying to make us realize how really a tough job we do. And people think that marketing is a very easy job, but actually it is thank you. It is the toughest, job. You wanted to say something, Girish.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about a power outage, and I couldn't help but remember this. A few years ago, I'm sure some people in the room will know this. There was an outage during Super Bowl in the US, and Oreo came up with an instant campaign, which was all about you can dunk in the dark. That story got amplified so beautifully because it was contextual, and it was moment relevant. And then they had the ability, not just technology, ability of an organization that could actually react so quickly. And that's very important today because as consumers, before becoming consumers, we are people. And we will always respond to things that matter to us in that moment. So one of the important elements that stays relevant even today is the ability to be tuned into the market. That's where data helps you. And the ability to creatively respond to that, right? This is extremely important. As a marketeer, AI can replace many things that we do, but it can't replace situational awareness and our ability to respond to that. And I think that's a good example of dunking in the dark that I could think of.
I think that's a brilliant segue because we have Ms. Diep, who is from from a content partner, Canal Plus, and I mean, you said a very interesting thing, Girish. You said people. So basic, right? But so important. Because we assume audience is consumer. Platforms gives us audience. Then we need to win their heart before we get into their share of mind and think that they're consumers. And thankfully, you have a simpler job. Because when people tune into your channels, they're in a mood for entertainment. But I'm not going to ask you about that because that's pretty easy. What I'm going to ask you is, how do you think K Plus, Canal Plus, and all the content production houses that we are, how can we leverage them even better for this difficult task of storytelling that is at hand for bankers like Mr. Dung, Pablo, and everyone here?
Okay, yes, I think I'm not going to share the basic thing about how to do storytelling, what is the winning key factor, but I will share some key point related to my industry, because, you know, like in content industry, the core product is content, which is inherently already stories. So what we'll do is that we will tell the story around the story, which is unlike the case of other brands that they will tell the story around a product. So we always need to be mindful. This is what the message I give to all my team is that be mindful, not just talk about your stories, your core product, how good it is, how at high quality your movies and your series are, because if we do so, we will go back to the mainstream way that we list out all the product features, all the, we talk about just facts without any stories. So that's like a trap when people do marketing do storytelling for the content, normally will fall down. And instead of that, what we need is to tell the story behind story, create more branded content. What we're gonna do can be a behind the scene, the making of, more types of content like documentaries. So it's like a variety of types of content where we can tell good stories. We create an entire experience about the audience, how they consume our content. And from that point, I will talk about the new opportunity where brands can collab in creating stories together.
Some examples?
For example, you know, as the content owner, we have the exclusive access to some places which is very private. For example, I don't know if you know, there is a lounge number 7 at Old Trafford. If you know EPL, English Premier League, and if you like Manchester United, then you might know that.
I know some Liverpool fans here, not sure about MU, but...
Yeah, but you know, like to access that lounge, you will need, you cannot just pay, and you need to have a very
Mastercard.
good relationship.
Money can't buy, yeah.
Not only money, but yes, but together with K+, for example, we can do something, we call it here like, together we can create the legacy. We can have some representative, it can be the entrepreneur, the president of the big group. We can create a film, a documentary where these representatives can go to the UK, can have the full journey, go to Old Trafford, access to that, which is exclusive, and no one can have this. We can claim that you are the first one in Vietnam, access to that launch. And then we film all of that, we integrate the message there, we create a really story, not about the product itself, but about the brand, we create the brand love. And this representative, this entrepreneur and VIP can have the legacy for himself, for his brand in the future. And for us, actually, together, we are the only one that can help the brands to do so. So, you know, like...
this will be more in B2B space?
Sorry?
More in B2B space? B2B marketing space? Because...
Yeah, it's more like that. But you know, at the end of the day, the message will be transferred, will be distributed to end user. So
like MSB Wealth Banking can send their privileged consumers there, create documentaries, and then show those capsules for the next $1 million deposit, which will give you access to MU. Launch number 7. Do you think in B2C we create such experiences for consumers?
Well, it's actually funny that you say it, because Tiger Beer just announced last week, and I didn't know this, but Tiger Beer last week announced its sponsorship with Manchester United.
Oh.
So those fans in the house, you cannot drink anything else anymore, that's clear.
The Liverpool fans know what to avoid now.
No, but I think these kind of platforms, these kind of experiences are exactly what we need to deliver as brands. Like for us, and I liked how you talked about the seamless experience.
No, you continue.
Oh, okay. How you talked about the seamless experiences with Tiger Beer, how we have now a platform called eCoin. It actually started out on the Heineken brand, but it's a digital platform that we can use to really give a seamless experience for our consumers to engage with, from online to offline. It started out with scanning a pack and hunting for coins in your supermarket, in your house, on the streets, collecting the points, and then redeeming them for once in a lifetime or unique experiences. And now it has evolved to become something existing on Zalo, which delivers a really unified passport. So we have so many more opportunities for us to engage now with consumers directly. They will scan the pack, or they will scan a QR code at the bar. They can redeem gifts. They can enter events from us. We can then give them a free beer in an outlet the next day. So it really delivers a seamless experience for our consumers. And on top of that, it will deliver us the insight of what they like, what they do, what they buy, and that we can then further activate on. So,
That's brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had one example to show, which is done by Old Spice. Again, music festivals is something everyone goes to. Oh, joy. Okay, let's go. Okay, play. Because in a 3-day electronic music festival, right, one of the things you need to really take care of is your body odor. And what a brilliant integration. Not only they did these videos, but seamless storytelling is that they created the 6-seconders, but when you go to the festival, when they go to the festival, all the toilets and shower rooms are branded with Old Spice, and the Old Spice, perfume and fragrance is there for use. So that's the seamlessness we are talking, not just about the digital, but also, creating the experiences which merge seamlessly. Yeah, Pablo.
Yeah, and maybe you need, before this I was in Germany, you need to know that the festivals in Germany actually last 48 hours. So they start on Friday evening, they last till Sunday or Monday morning the next day. Full from start to finish. So this is, I think, very strong.
Absolutely. And, in World Cup football, there are a lot of videos which shows that Japanese audience, they clean the stands after they finish the match. So what Coca-Cola does is all the glasses that they create are made of plastic, but they're branded glasses. They mention the name of the match, the date, and it says, I was here. So from just a glass dispensing the beverage, it becomes a collectible item. So if you had 10 Coca-Cola, glasses, you will bring all of them back home as merchandise and as memorabilia. And this is where beautifully storytelling, brand purpose, sustainability, consumption, everything comes together to create a beautiful consumer experience. And that's what pays us our salaries. Thank you for listening.